Hey folks, welcome back to another video of the Flutter Development course brought to you by Newton School. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Harsh Kumar Khatri and I'll be your instructor for this particular course. I am currently interning at Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, and I am an ex-Flutter developer intern at a company named AppScript where my primary role was to develop Flutter application. I am also an instructor on Udemy and Eduonics where I have more than 10,000 enrollments on my Flutter courses. You must be thinking what Newton School is. So basically Newton School is a platform to learn and develop the skills that you need for your best tech career. There are courses specially designed for freshers, working professionals and women in tech with no prior experience. Newton School first trains you for 6 months and helps you develop a full stack developer. It also has a network of more than 300 great companies who hire directly from Newton School. So once the training is complete, Newton School ensures that you are placed with one of the best companies in the country. There is also a pay after placement program where you don't have to pay Newton School anything until you get placed with a minimum CTC of rupees 5 lakh per annum. Also, they have another awesome initiative known as Launchpad where they provide you with some of the courses free of cost, and then you can solve those courses and work on those courses and earn a certificate of completion. For more info, check out the link given in the description. Now let's start with the today's video. So the topics which I'll be covering in this video are like we'll be seeing the installation and the setup for Android Studio. We'll also be setting up and installing VS Code, setting up an emulator in which we'll be running all our apps in future, setting up a physical device. I will also be telling you about some of the terminal basics which will be helpful for you if some of the things in your IDE are not working and you want to continue with your Flutter development. So let's get started with the Android installation and setup first. So let me switch the screen. So for Android installation, what you have to do is you have to go on Google and type Android Studio. You have to download the latest version of Android Studio and the SDK tools as well. So here you can see that it is showing me the appropriate version for my Windows. So I'll click on the download Android Studio button and I have to agree this agreement. So the download had started. Let's install VS Code as well. So I'll be downloading it for Windows. Here you can see that both the exe files are downloading. So I'll be pausing the video here and I'll be continuing once these both are downloaded. So VS Code is already downloaded. Let's wait for Android Studio to get downloaded. So you can see that Android Studio is also downloaded. Let me move both of these into my desktop folder. Let me switch the screen as well. Yeah, so here are both the files for the VS Code and Android Studio. Let's install VS Code first. So here you can see that it may provide you with this administrator message. You have to directly click on OK, accept the agreement, click on next, add the path. This will be required for your shell to restart. You have to let it be default. Don't change any of the things. If you want to create a desktop icon, then you can check this one, else let it be in the default mode only. Click on next and then it will be asking you to click on the install button to complete the installation. For me, VS Code is already installed, so I'll be clicking cancel for now and yes here. Next, for the Android Studio, when you will be double clicking on it, it will be first verifying if the installer which you have downloaded is correct or not, or it is having some broken files. So once the verification is done, it will be opening this particular screen. So if you have already installed Android Studio or some other version is already installed for you, then it will be asking you to uninstall old version. I don't want to uninstall it, so I'll be unchecking this button. You can see over here that it will be storing your files in this directory. Click next to continue. And you can see that it is asking you if you want to install only Android Studio or the virtual device as well. I'll be keeping it as default for now. Here you can see that it is asking you for the location where a minimum of 500 MB of free space is available to store all your files related to Android Studio. You can select a name for the Android Studio or the name with which you want to create a folder for the Android Studio. So I won't be changing anything. And when I'll be clicking on install it, it will be installing Android Studio for me. For now, I won't be installing it as installed Android Studio. So cancelling it for now. Let me show you the configuration which you need to do inside your Android Studio so that the Flutter apps would work fine, or you can make apps in Flutter inside Android Studio. So let me open Android Studio first. So here you can see that Android Studio is opened. So when you will be opening the Android Studio for the first time, it won't be showing you an option to create a Flutter project or new Flutter project over here. So for enabling this option, what you have to do is you have to click on this configure, and from here you have to click on this plugins option over here. Once you'll be clicking on this plugin, it will be providing you with the plugin screen, and you have to install the two plugins which are for Flutter and for Dart. So here you can see that I have already downloaded these. So it is showing me these plugins on top, but for you, if it is not showing you, you have to directly search them. You have to first install Dart. I'll be updating it as it is asking me to update, and I'll be doing the same thing for the Flutter. So here you can see that both the updates have been completed, and it is asking me to restart the ID. For you as well, when you will be installing these for the first time, or when you will be updating these plugins, then it will be asking you to restart the ID so that the things could take place or the changes could take place. So directly click on the restart button and click on the restart again. Once the Android Studio has restarted for you after you have installed the plugins, it will be providing you with an option to create a new Flutter project over here. We'll be seeing in the later part of this video how we can create a new project inside Android Studio related to Flutter, and what are the different available options which Android Studio provides us, like for creating the project, for creating a plugin, or for creating a package. So we'll be seeing all of those things as well. Let me click cancel over here and close this project. Closing this project. So yeah, when the Android Studio will be restarting for you, it will be providing you with the similar screen. Or these projects won't be here, but rest all the things will be same, and you will also be provided with the create new Flutter project option. Now let's see the setup, what we need to do inside the VS Code for making our Flutter apps run over there. I'll be closing the Android Studio for now and opening a new Flutter window over here. A new window, maximizing it. Once your VS Code has been installed and opened for you, what you have to do is you have to click on this extension button. Once the extension screen is loading, you have to search for Flutter extension from here. You can see that I have already installed the Flutter plugin. Next you have to install Dart over here. For me, you can see that Dart is still in install process, so I'll wait for now. Sometimes there may also be cases that Dart is showing installing for you, although it is completely installed inside your PC and it is working fine and all the apps are running. So you don't need to worry if it shows you installing like it is showing me. So although it is installed, as we'll be running the Flutter Doctor command, it will be showing us that it is installed and the setup for the VS Code is also completed. I'll also be showing you how you can create a new project, Flutter project inside VS Code. But first let us see how we can create an emulator inside our Android Studio. So let me close this VS Code for now. So as we were closing, you can see that it has shown me an update that Dart has also been installed and it requires a reload. So I won't be reloading it now, as we are to close this VS Code only and we have to start with the Android Studio emulator setup. So I'll be opening Android Studio again, creating a new Flutter project. Here you can see that, as I was saying you, that you are provided with multiple options to create various different things inside Android Studio. So you can create a Flutter application or a Flutter plugin or a Flutter package or a module for Flutter. So for now we'll be starting with the Flutter application and clicking on next. Provide a project name, so I'll be providing it with the name of demo app. The Flutter SDK path is set over here. For you, if it is not showing you with the Flutter SDK path setup, what you have to do is you have to click on the browse option. From here you have to go inside the source directory, and from there you have to select this Flutter folder. If you haven't seen the previous video where I have told you about the installation for the Flutter and the Flutter setup, so you can check that video out. I have explained completely how you can install Flutter in that. For me, it has already detected the SDK path, and the projects related to this Android Studio will be stored in the D directory. You can also set up a description for your app which you are creating. I am keeping it as default. So here it is showing me an error that that location can't be default. So let me select Android Studio projects over here. Yeah, so clicking on the next button, this will be the package name. So why we need a package name? Because whenever you are creating an app and you want to like put the app on any of the app store or while you are creating an iOS app, then you want to host the app on the App Store. So you will be needing a package name to uniquely identify your app. So that's why we are asked for a package name. I'm keeping it as default for now, and I'll be keeping these things also like in default mode only, and clicking on the finish button so that the project is created. Let's wait until the project is created. You can see over here that it has created a Flutter project for us. Now for the emulator, what we have to do is we have to click on tools from here. Once you will be clicking on tools, you will be provided with multiple options. From here you have to click on the AVD manager. So if you don't have any of the devices created previously, it will be showing blank over here, but as you can see that I have already created multiple emulators for me for Android TV and for multiple devices as well. So it is showing me all the devices which I have created. Let's create a new virtual device. Once you will be clicking on the create virtual device button, it will be providing you with the category for which you want to create a emulator for. You can either select for a TV or a phone or a VR OS, a tablet or a automotive. For me, I'll be selecting a phone. You can select from the various different options for phones which are available over here. So you can see Pixel 4, Pixel 4 XL, etc. Let's choose Pixel XL for now. Click on next button. Once you will be clicking next, it will be asking you which Android version you want to install in that Pixel device. So you can choose any of the version which you want. For me, only Android R is downloaded. If you want to install any of the other Android versions, you can download that version first, and once you have downloaded that version, you can then use that version to install that Android inside your emulator which you are creating. I'll be clicking cancel for now, and I'll be selecting R only. Once I click on the next, it will be asking me to name a device. I'm keeping it as default. If you want your emulator to be appearing in any of the particular orientation, then you can select or change these. I'm keeping everything else as default. If you want to change some of the graphics, then you can alter this, but I won't be suggesting you to do any of the things. And now click on the finish button. So here you can see that the emulator has been created. Pixel XL API 30 is the emulator which I just created. Let me click on the green button so that the emulator runs. You can see over here that it is showing starting AVD. It will be taking some time. Let's close this over here. I'm displaying it in half of the screen. So you can see that the emulator is loading. It can take some time depending upon your hardware performance. So until this is installing and completing the setup, let me show you how you can set up a physical device. So why do you, before setting up a physical device, let me tell you why do you need a physical device. So if you don't have a PC or a laptop with like epic hardware performance or epic software performance, then you will be needing a physical device to save on some of the resources. So as you will be running the application inside your physical device, it will be saving you the space of the emulator, and it won't be stucking your PC and the ID which you are using again and again while you are developing your apps in Flutter. So that's why it is essential to use a physical device when you are using a PC which is not having that much great performance. I too use a physical device for developing my Flutter apps because some of the times my PC crashes or the ID which I am trying to use for developing my Flutter app crashes. This was why you need a physical device for developing a Flutter app. Now let's see how we can set up the physical device for us for running our Flutter apps. So before going there, you can see over here that the emulator has been loaded and the setup for the emulator has completed. Let me switch back to my mobile screen. So now let us see how you can set up a physical device. So here you can see that I have opened my mobile phone, and I'll also start the recording over here. Now let us see how we can set up a physical device. So for setting up a physical device, what you have to do is you have to go inside your settings. Inside your settings, you have to go inside your about phone. Inside your about phone, you have to click on the MIUI version. For you, it may differ. For those of you who are using the phones from Xiaomi, then you have to click on MIUI version. If you are having phone from some other company, then also there will be some kind of versions which will be available for you. So you have to click on that 7 times. So as I have already enabled the developer mode over here, it is showing me that no need, you are already a developer. But for you, if you are not a developer, clicking 7 times will enable a developer mode for you. So let's see how the developer mode looks. So once you have enabled the developer mode, what you have to do is you have to connect your device with a USB to your PC laptop. When you will be connecting this device, you will be provided with an option on the top, not this one. So when you will be connecting a device with a USB cable, then you will be provided with an option on the top. You can see over here that USB debugging connected. So when I'll be clicking on it, it will be taking me to the developer options over here. And you can see that developer options are turned on for me. Once you have developer options turned on, you have to go below and you have to search for this USB debugging option over here. So what USB debugging is used for, so whenever you are trying to run your Flutter application, so for installing the application directly inside your mobile phone, you have to turn on this USB debugging option. If it is turned on, the application won't be installed inside your mobile phone directly, so you have to turn this on. So once you will be turning this on, the setup for the physical device will be completed. Now let me get back to the Android Studio. So before moving towards the basic terminal command, let me tell you about the Android toolchain thing. So let me run Flutter Doctor once. So you can see over here that the Flutter Doctor command is executed, and in the second line you can see that Android toolchain is mentioned. So once you have installed everything or set up everything, there are chances that you can still face an error with the Android toolchain thing, because you need to accept the Android licenses. So for doing that, or for fixing this error, what you have to do is you have to type Flutter Doctor -- Android license, Android - licenses, and hit enter. So I have made a typo over here, so it needs to be SES. Clicking on enter, and you can see over here that it has fetched all the licenses and all the licenses are accepted for the SDK package. So there are chances that this may occur for you. So for me, when I try to install the Flutter and set up Android Studio VS Code, then this error was not occurring for me. There are chances that it may occur for you. There are also some chances that some other error because of the Java JDK version may appear for you. So for that you need to see what JDK version is installed for you, or for what version of Java is running for you. So make sure to see what error is coming. And also, if there is some particular error fix to which you can't find on Google, then make sure to comment that down below, and I'll be more than happy to help you out solving that error. Now let's move towards the terminal basic commands. So till now we have seen how we can set up Android Studio, VS Code, an emulator, and a physical device for running our Flutter apps. Now let me show you some of the basic terminal commands which you should know in case your IDE stops working and you want to use the commands for running the Flutter apps or for creating the Flutter apps. One more important thing, that these are some of the commands which can be asked from you inside a Flutter interview. When I was applying for one of my Flutter roles, these commands were asked from me and I was pretty clear with the commands. So you should also remember these commands. So the first command which we have used in the previous video also is Flutter Doctor. So what this command does is it will be providing you with all the details of Flutter, like what all things are installed, what all things are missing, what you need to install, and what you need to update. So it will be providing you with all those options. So next command is that we can also add -v to this Flutter Doctor. So what -v does is it will be providing you with an extended version of the output for this all what you are seeing over here. So that is the use of -v over here. The next command which we have is Flutter Create. With the Flutter Create command, we have to pass the application name or the app name which we want to create. So for example, I want to create Harsh app over here. So I'll be naming, or I'll be passing Harsh app along with Flutter Create command. So what this command does is it will be creating a new Flutter application for you. Next command which we have is Flutter Run command. So this command is used for running our Flutter app. The next command which we have over here is Flutter Clean. So what this command does is it will be deleting all your packages and all the Dart tools or Dart things related to Flutter. So you can see that when I have executed this command, all of these things which are related to Flutter are turning red because it has deleted all these things. Next command which we have over here is Flutter PubGet. So this command is used for fetching all the things related to Flutter or for fetching the new packages which we have added inside our pubspec.yaml file. So this is the use of this command. So once this command is executed, you can see that these errors will be removed automatically. So you can see that these errors have removed automatically once we have run this flutter pub command. So these were some of the basic Flutter commands which you need to know or which you need to remember, because these can be handy in case your ID stops working, or these can be asked from you when you are applying or when you are getting interviewed for a Flutter developer role. So this was it for this particular video. If you enjoyed the video or if you have got to learn something new from the video, then make sure to drop a like. Comment down below what you want to see next or what you want us to include in this particular course, and share the video with your friends or in your community where people are talking about Flutter or want to learn Flutter. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, then make sure to subscribe to the channel as well to get all the latest updates related to the course. New videos are posted every alternate day, so make sure to check those videos out as well. And also make sure to check Newton School out. The link is given in the description, and thank you for watching this video.